I call these two the dynamic duo. Pierre and Jenny trained a lot together. They're so in sync. They're just running along, chatting easily, and we're hanging in there. All right, coming to you live. This is the next video. So if you haven't seen the start of the UTA course up to Narrowneck, I encourage you to watch that. And I left you just at the top there. So we're at the bottom of the Tarros Ladders now. So for the UTA 100 course, this is about kilometres 15 to 56 that we're doing today. So it's the front loop. And for the miler courses, they're about 65 to 117 kilometres. So we're completing the front loop today. Boys are doing a great job. So buckle up, get ready, and we'll show you everything about the rest of this front loop.
And in the race, Kathy, where do they go?
Who's interviewing who?
In the race, where do they go?
So in the Narrowneck video, I showed you where the alternate route was. So you won't be coming down the ladders here. There's a little pathway off to the left.
Yep, that comes out just here.
Yeah, exactly. You'll come out here. So don't panic. You're not coming down here. We're just safety in numbers. We've come down safely just to start the rest of the course. All right, so at the bottom of Tarros, as I said, so we've got some single track, as you can see, quite technical. We've got about 2 kilometres to get to Medley Gap, which is the first checkpoint. So we're on that lovely single track that I was just mentioning, and Jenny, who's finished 9 UTA 100s, her comment was, I've got to catch her now. Jen, what do you think about this part of the course?
I think this is one of the prettiest parts of the UTA course because it's just, you're on top of a ridge, it's green, it is technical, but it opens up into soft underfoot and it's really pretty.
Yeah, excellent. Let's enjoy. See what you mean, Jen? This is beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Down, down. I got the power.
Faster.
So I think that's an important point we're talking about. So when we spoke about the Narrowneck video, we really spoke about kind of pacing and starting slow because you've got a long way to go. And Jen was just saying, when you get to here, you've still got a lot of people just kind of wanting to push ahead, and it can get quite challenging, feeling like you have to go faster than you need to because you've got people charging up behind you. So just stay safe, pass with courtesy, stick to your own race plan, all very important. So is this Mount Durbet we're coming up to?
Mount Durbet.
All right, just to give you an idea of the climb. So it's a short and sharp climb. Climbing some boulders.
It's a warm up for Iron Pot.
Yeah. Warm up for Iron Pot. Good plan. After all that easy running on Narrowneck, get some climbing in. I've just come down from up here. Onwards we go. I'm still on top of Mount Durbet. So you've got a second kind of less technical climb up. Doing a great job there, Mark. Back down the other side. Rightio, gnarly descent is the word of the day for our viewers. This is a gnarly descent. I'll bring you on some of it, but then
And people are trying to go quick on it.
oh. Yeah, so pretty steep off. So guys, go slow in the race. Don't be pushing past people. It is slippery. Oh, Siri's chiming in. But yeah, take your time. Oh, I'm grateful for the stairs. Certainly makes this bit a lot easy. Thank you, National Parks. Still going down. So we've come off Mount Durbet, off the single track, and this is Medley Gap. There's your first checkpoint here. If you're doing the 100k, it's about 17 kilometres, and the 100 miles you're about 70 k's in. I think the takeaway from the bottom of Tarros to here is that most of it is technical track, up and down, quite undulating. So just be patient, don't push through people, yeah, just slow down, do it safely. It's only 2 kilometres. Just keep safe because you've still got a long way to go. Which way are we heading now from here?
Dumpies.
Boss?
Dumpies.
Onward to Dumpies. We've got about 7 k's to Dumpies now.
Nice wide fire trail.
Nice wide fire trail. You've heard it, folks. Enjoy.
Treat it as a big day out, right? And really enjoy the day. And don't put any pressure on yourself time-wise.
Yeah, there you go. So Jen's finished 100 kilometres 9 times.
9 times.
Yep, so she's quite experienced.
And I think if it's your first 100 kilometre, if you think you're going out too fast, you probably are.
Yeah.
And just slow down.
Yeah, so just enjoy it and take it out for the big day out that it is.
Yes.
So still wide fire trail on the way to Dumpies. What do you think the biggest mistake people do at this stage in the race, Jen?
I think they've gone out way too quickly on Narrowneck.
Yep.
They've got caught up with the excitement and they're starting to feel it now.
Yeah. You've still got a long way to go, haven't you?
Still a long way to go.
So it's sort of interesting. You've got runnable on Narrowneck. It slows you down between the end of Narrowneck and Medlow Gap. Now you've got this very runnable bit. So it's like a one big fartlek, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Look at this nice runnable downhill. Beautiful. So as you can see, I describe this as wide fire trail and undulating. Going up again, but largely runnable. How nice is this? Hey Jen, what's been your hardest UTA 100 moment?
Hardest UTA 100 moment. Oh, when I broke my foot.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Broke my foot.
But you got to give the people context. You break it at what stage in the race?
I broke it at 60 kilometres. I thought I just sprained it.
Did you finish?
I did finish.
What was your finish time, Jen?
14 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
But I had motivation. I
Yep.
knew I was going well in the race.
Yep.
And I thought I just sprained my ankle.
Yeah, yeah. So you're able to move on it. It wasn't.
I just kept going.
Yeah. What's
It was
your?
probably silly in the end, but
Yep.
yeah,
Got it
that
done.
was hard though. It was painful.
And what's your favourite UTA 100 moment?
Crossing the line at 13 hours 40 with my running buddy Piera.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We ran the whole race together. It was our best time and we finished equally together.
Yeah. So
First in our age group.
give people context. So age group win. Top 7% of females. So 1340. The males that year, it's 2021, who were around 7%, were doing 1240s. Just to give you an idea of kind of the calibre of runner this woman is. From Medlow Gap, the next checkpoint is Foggy's Knob. So we've been on the same fire trail, can't really get lost. We've got this Bellbird Ridge fire trail, so we're turning left. You got a sign there, Medlow Gap Management Trail, Bellbird Ridge. Little descent, very nice. So to clarify, you go past Dumpies, but the checkpoint's at Foggy Knob.
Correct.
Got it? Alright, so this is passing through Dumpies. So there is water tank and the toilets are down there, but the reality is you don't actually have to come into Dumpies. That road we came down, you're just going to run all the way by, then you can see the road down here. Just running past Dumpies towards Foggy Knob. Now, Foggy Knob you can't go to in training. It's on private property, but we'll point out where it is. So come with us. Australia. Yep, so I've just left Dumpies.
We're going to go down here.
We are going to head down here in training, but just showing you when you turn left on the road here, this will take you towards Foggy Knob, which is where your checkpoint is. So you'll see it's quite a steep climb up. Oh, so the single trail next to it. Woo, you see a trail there.
So you go up there and literally at the top of that ridge, that's the aid station.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And then you do the loop around Iron Pot and we'll show you where you come back in.
I'm not going to actually talk too much about Iron Pot because it's on private property and it's a really special part of the race, which I think resonates with a lot of the runners. So I think that that's something that, you know, it's just for you to achieve, to experience on race day. Down the road, and then we'll show you where you come back in. So from Foggy Knob to the next checkpoint, which is 6 foot track, it's 10.9 kilometres, but that includes the Iron Pot loop, which we're not doing today because we can't do it in training. So we're doing the front loop minus Narrowneck. For this section of the race, what do you think is the key takeaway? As far as I see, I think the key takeaway for this section is patience. You've still got a long way to go and have your pacing strategy in place. Would you add anything to that? Do you think there's any other key to this section? Oh, did I nail it?
You nailed it. Patience is definitely.
I think you've got to pace it well. It's
Pace
easy
it
to
well.
get caught up. Other people, your friends, everyone goes very fast, and you've just got to let people go and do what you need to do.
Yeah,
Run your own race.
love it. So even though the experience of Iron Pot, I think, is something that I mentioned I want to leave everyone to see for themselves, we do need to note that the climb up to Iron Pot is really quite steep, and so you do need to exercise caution going up Iron Pot. If you're using poles, really think about the runners behind you. If you're behind, just give the runners in front space to do it safely. Rightio, Pierre, what do we need to learn now?
So after you've done Iron Pot, you go through all the farmland, which is very beautiful. You come down this track here,
Yep,
which comes in just here,
yep.
and then we continue on up the road.
Right, okay, so you're coming down off the side of this sort of mountain here, this hill. And then on our merry way. So again, we can't do that in training because it's private property and they ask that we don't train on there. So if you've gone out too fast, you've probably got missed opportunities for some running here. So I think we're all in agreement that I guess the key principle in this front loop section is really patience. And I think more broadly speaking, we can apply this to ultra trail running. And I think we've got two very good examples here of Pierre and Jenny, who have both done 900k races. Over the last 9 years, they've obviously got older, but Pierre has managed to take over 2 hours off her time. Jenny's managed to take over 5 hours off her time. And the time progressions aren't necessarily linear, depending on life circumstances and goals at the time. But ultimately their patience, their consistency with training and their continuation in the sport has led to some amazing achievements. I hope you two ladies are proud of yourselves. Look, a couple of role models right there. Look at them, they're so shy. But really it does go to show what you can achieve. We're all, I hope you don't mind me saying, we're all in our 50s and we're all achieving more than we ever thought possible.
That's true.
That's true. So don't give up, you can do it. Just passing sort of farmlands. So the whole vibe of the race has changed again, which is part of the beauty of this. Like, it's really not boring. You get to see so much, you know, from Narrowneck on the ridge in the middle of the two valleys to, you know, that technical track, which is Jenny's favourite part, over Mount Durbet of the whole 100-kilometre race, to now some wide file trails through some farmlands. And then if you watch the other videos, you'll see all the beautiful stair sections and being in the forest, and then the descent and climb out of the valley. It really is a special course, it really is a special race, and I'm very excited for those who haven't experienced it yet, because putting it all together, there's just so much variety that will keep you entertained, that's for sure. But for now, this is what we're on, trying to keep up with those two. So after you come back off Iron Pot and come back onto this road, it's pretty much like this for most, not all, but for most of this section until you get the 6 foot track checkpoint. I think I looked at it, it's a net pretty equal up and down. So it's kind of undulating. You'll be hiking some, running some, but this is kind of it. It's pretty beautiful, nice and green. Hear the birds chirping. You love it, Jen?
Love it.
You love it. So sort of a long, slow climb out. In there, ladies. Your turn in the hot seat, Piera. Ask Jenny, what was her hardest moment in all of her UTA 100s? It's all been easy, guys.
Because there's I think because there's quite a lot.
Nothing stands out.
No. I think the year we went under 14 hours. You know, we worked really hard to go under 14 hours. We had to redline it the whole way. We didn't talk. We achieved what we wanted to achieve, and I was so happy that we achieved it. But I didn't get the same joy out of the entire race that I've had out of other races.
Yeah, okay, because you really put it all on the line.
Yeah, because it required a major effort, you know.
On reflection, how do you feel about that race now?
Oh no, I'm so glad I did it.
Yep.
I've never been happier, you know, with the result, an achievement, because we worked hard for it.
Yep. What's been your best UTA experience?
I don't know, probably the first one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure, no goals.
No goals, just run it.
Get it done.
Yep.
I like that. Good work.
That's great.
So we're at the top of that climb, getting a bit of run on. Still wide trail, still heading towards a 6-foot track checkpoint.
Grinds up a bit, but it's runnable.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grind. Up.
Run walk.
Yeah. And that's what you're in for. Careful of cars. Cars are still allowed on here, even on the race, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. So I have to mention the friendships that you make in this wonderful sport of ours. So all 3 of us, or 5 of us with the boys, have all met because of running. And I think I'd really like to highlight the friendship that these two have, Jen and Piera. They met in running, do most of their training together, and then they really collaborated when they're working towards their 2021 UTA 100k, which ended up being their PB. And it was amazing to see how in sync you both were. You didn't even have to talk, did you? You had like hand signals. You knew when you were running, when you were walking.
You couldn't breathe.
Yeah, couldn't breathe, but I've never known 2 people to be more in sync than kind of what these 2 were and achieve something amazing together. It's the relationships you forge can really be celebrated. So just downhill, so more of the same. We're going downhill for a little bit now, so again in the 22 video I really talked about preparing your quads for all these downhills. It's critical you prepare them. G'day!
Yeah.
Hello! They're like, what are you crazy people doing? So I've been on the road for about 1 kilometre. It's either this gate or the next, but this is where you cut in, head towards a 6-foot track.
It's nicely downhill to the aid station.
So downhill to the aid station. This is private property, so we can't go on. Aid station here, come out the gate and you're crossing the road. And so there's a loop in here.
Yeah, a 10k, a 9k loop.
How would you describe the loop?
It's undulating with quite a bit of, you know, quite a few steep roads that you sort of need to hike up. But
technical?
No, not technical.
Okay.
Except you do hit 6-foot track.
Yep.
And you've got 3k's on 6-foot track, and that is technical. That is technical.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you're going uphill on that.
So it's about 8k's doing that. So the 100 miles are either going to do that twice or something extra in there, but they're getting a bonus 8 kilometres. Alrighty, so we're at on the Megalong Road 6-foot track crossover, and there's a water point here. It's not an aid station, but there is a water point here.
Cube here.
Unmanned cube for you to fill up.
And then from here it's what?
So
11 k's to Aquatic?
Yep, 11.
Yeah, so 11Ks of mostly uphill. So up until now, that's been kind of net even loss and gain in terms of your elevation. But now you're actually doing more climbing, and it impacts everybody differently. I know every time I've done the 100K here, without a doubt, I feel sick on this section. You usually feel...
Bit average.
I thought you felt good. You feel sick usually on this section?
I think with this section, it's not far to go. You got to bear that in mind, and it is runnable. A lot of it is runnable, but it's
discipline. It's discipline.
Yeah,
it's discipline.
But it's a grind up. So everyone,
for a lot of people, it's run walking.
Everyone takes it a bit differently, but we'll show you. So welcome to the 6 foot track.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Technical so far. McClellan Bridge. Just got to go through a lot of farmland. So you got these ladders to go over, all part of the 6 foot track. For the 100K runners, you are coming up to the halfway mark of your race. So
a big sign there.
If you haven't paced and you haven't been patient, geez, buckle up for the second half. Some runnable stuff. Just been chatting with the ladies. Now bearing in mind these are sub 14-hour runners, but I did ask them, you know, what's the key for this front loop, and we did speak about patience, and they mentioned it's all about setting. This loop sets you up for what's to come. So again, it does come down to your pacing strategy and making sure you don't burn yourself for what is to come. You want something in the tank by the time you get to the Aquatic Centre, because a lot of this is runnable. If you go out too hard, you're going to struggle in the back end. They both said that once after you leave the Aquatic Centre, you've got the stair section with the change of environment, the change of the muscles that you use are different. Going into the forests, there's not a lot you can do in terms of trying to do that fast. So that's an opportunity for rest, to enjoy, and then set themselves up for that final 22. Did I summarise that well?
Yeah.
Nailed it!
Yeah.
So a lot of what we've done so far from the 6 foot track aid station is pretty runnable if you've trained well enough and paced correctly. But it is still a net increase. Rise, climb. So a lot of people will be walking, hiking this section. Mix it up, get it done. Across some farmland, you can see this escarpment up there, kind of a little bridgey thing. There's this distinct point where it'll start to grind up. And this is where, if you're prepared for it, like these two, you can kind of run it. But a lot of people will hike kind of up from here, because it is just this continual grind up till you get to the top of Nelly's. Whew. A little bit warm, training in the Australian summer, but I think you can see from the Narrowneck video and this one that a large portion of this whole front loop, so the first 56 Ks of the 100K course, is kind of really easy, wide fire trail with some technical bits in between. Yes, in the 100K you're accumulating just over 2,000 metres of climbing and descent, and by the time you get to the Aquatic Centre or the 100 milers, you've got double that. So yeah, we can't belittle the climbing and descending in these kilometres, but it's really important to note that a lot of this is runnable, and if you're not ready for all that running, and if you haven't got your pacing right, and if you haven't been patient, you really are missing sort of certain opportunities to maximise your potential on this course. It's beautiful. See, lost the girls. You'll start to be able to hear the water to the left of you there. You can see the water. We continue our sort of grind up. Grinding it up. Be prepared. I don't want anyone surprised for this section. It's on the map. You know you've got to climb out, but from the last checkpoint to, well, the water points are at 6 foot to the Aquatic Centre, the kilometres, you know, seem pretty small in the big scheme of things, and you might be excited to get to the checkpoint and see crew, supporters, but it can just take a little bit longer than you expect. Kind of shook me the first couple of years I did it, until I came to expect it and just took it all in my stride and didn't panic, stay calm. It's beautiful. Start to see more ferns. Canopy getting thicker. So after this bit it really narrows and the grind continues up towards the base of the Nelly stairs and then towards those 500 beautiful stairs. So very different now from single track. Definitely uphill. Still heading up. See her up ahead. Nelly's Glen sign. Getting close. You can really hear the water more. You can feel the change in the environment. It's like a guard of honour with the trees. Look at that, beautiful. Still heading up. Okay, so you got 1.5 single track, all uphill to the base of Nelly's. Sound fun, right? This is pretty. So right after that rock hopping, you'll come up to the base of the stairs. How's this for a change of scenery? Beautiful. About 500 stairs. Here we go. Just more stairs. Up we go. That's pretty much just all straight up, no landings or anything, just straight up. You get to this and it's pretty much over. Okay, that's the top of Nelly's Glen. Two lovely ladies, 6 foot track sign. The race should be turning right, heading on down there. So after you pass that gate, it's about 2 kilometres to the road, which will then take you up to the Aquatic Centre. Sort of mostly technical, isn't it?
Technical. It's not well maintained.
Yeah. So you'll be kind of recovering from that climb out. And you think coming up on that same little track, and there's a left-hand turn here. Yes, it will be marked in the course. Don't panic if you do miss this little turn to the left. Just a lookout down there. So you can just backtrack and then you're coming down this little technical track. This is quite pretty. Still working our way to that road section after Nelly's. So some of it's been, we have been running, and some of it just gets a little bit more technical. So a bit of a mix. Yes. Alrighty, so sort of coming to the end of that little single track section, and
In the race, we're going to go up here. But in the race, you go up a straight parallel, but you've got to do a bit of track work. In the race, you go up here. It's about 200 metres of steep trail, to a road that's parallel like this.
Yep.
And that just takes you to Aquatic.
Okay, so Aquatic Centre from here, so our journey will end here today. We're going to take the road section up towards where our car is, where we started. So from here you're going to get to Aquatic Centre. What's the vibe like at the Aquatic Centre?
Oh, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
So much energy.
Something to look forward to. So if you're not feeling the best about now, that will definitely recharge you. So look out for that and know that, you know, your race can have many stages in it. So you'll get a recharge there and get ready for the stairs section, which is definitely a nice change of pace from what you've had up until now. You've still got just over a marathon distance to go by the time you get to the Aquatic Centre. But your goal's getting closer and closer. So best of luck, everyone. Thanks for joining.